So next I want to take a quick look at analyzing some of the movements, the ability to use vehicle tracking and access some of those features to make sure that that design that we just scribbled in actually works in a real-world scenario. So vehicle tracking is an overlay tool that it connects to several different products that you may have: Autodesk, AutoCAD, Civil 3D, Map 3D, so on and so forth. So it allows you to accurately predict vehicle turning radius information and even optimize your geometry as well as different types of analysis and reports. So it does install onto, again, most of your common products. You'll also have the ability to install it in your AutoCAD architecture, utility design, things like that. So there's a few different things that the product will do. Again, it does accurately analyze vehicle movements horizontally and allows you to generate reports and turning diagrams based upon that information. It does come preloaded with almost 500 different vehicles, and you do have the ability to create your own vehicles in the event that the object you're trying to analyze isn't already preloaded in the software. So you'll have different abilities to edit this data for the vehicles as well as generate the reporting information. You can also do vertical analysis. So not only can you make sure that the top of the truck isn't going to hit the bridge, but you can also do it underneath the vehicle. So what this will do is it'll make sure that the car can drive comfortably without bottoming out and overhangs hitting the ground and things like that. It'll allow you to adjust your profile design if you need to do so. It also has tools for generating parking lots layout information as well as roundabouts. One of the nice tools about and features that comes with the roundabout is, if you've ever done roundabouts in Civil 3D, you know that it has the roundabout tool and it does it in 2D, but in order to make it 3D, you have to go through quite a few extra steps to generate the assemblies, the corridors, and targeting, things like that, where this will actually generate all of the alignments, offsets, profiles, corridors, and everything else. So that's really nice. And it's dynamic, so if you decide to move the roundabout, move any of the lanes, adjust the angles on them, everything updates. It also does pavement markings and signage, so that's kind of nice also. So let's go take a look at that real quick. So when you bring your InfraWorks model into Civil 3D, you're going to get something that kind of starts off like this. And so you can see that model came straight through. I got my terrain, I got my alignments, and offset alignments. All the profiles came in as well. So if you look under surfaces, alignments, offsets, they all came in. And also notice too that any street that had GIS information, like street names, came in named with the proper street names. So you can actually go over and find an existing road. Maybe this one down here. And it'll actually give you the real street names. That's kind of nice. So what you would typically do next is use some of the Civil 3D tools as well as some of the vehicle tracking tools to further enhance the model so that you can run your analysis on that. And in an effort to save a little bit of time, I went ahead and did that. I also turned off the topo. So this is basically the simple roundabout that we have, as well as the initial information for the legs that are being brought in. So I got 3 different legs on here. And your vehicle tracking gets brought in as an extra vehicle tab up on your ribbon. So it's pretty much broken down into, again, a few different modules. So you have the swept path analysis module, which will allow you to do your horizontal, vertical analysis types. You can do your parking lot layout, your roundabouts, and then your final review and animations. So if you come into your vehicle libraries, again, you'll see it comes with a pretty extensive list of vehicles from all over the world. And these ones here that are in here, you can't edit these because they want to hold the values as per what they're supposed to be for that location. But you can copy any of these you want and then edit those, or you can create them straight on your own. So you have all the different abilities to make those changes and pick the vehicles that are going to work best for you. So typically when you're working with the horizontal layout analysis, you're going to have the AutoDrive Arc, which will allow you to manually go ahead and create different methods for laying out your vehicle. You have the manual drive. Honestly, it's kind of like a little video game. It allows you to use the controls on your mouse and keyboard arrows to drive the car around. The vertical clearance as well as the guided drive. The guided drive is more of if you have a polyline and you just want to connect the vehicle to that polyline and have it just run with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the AutoDrive Arc, and it's going to verify through the library which vehicle I plan on using. And so the last vehicle I used happens to have been a motorhome, so I'll just go ahead and I'll use that. So I'll say proceed. And you can see I get a little motorhome connect to my cursor. And you'll notice that it recognizes the alignments and the lanes, and it automatically tries to snap itself right inside there. So I can just click, and it places the vehicle, and now I have the AutoDrive dialog box where I can pick any lines or polylines and say, this is where I'm turning into, and it'll do its best to hold on to that. I can manually, freely make these curves based upon the curve standards of this vehicle and its turning abilities. If I'm at a stopped position, I have the ability to turn on a spot, which will give me a much greater turning ability. So I can just move myself along here now, right inside there, and just place the vehicle wherever I think it's going to drive best or wherever I want to analyze it at. And it looks like it doesn't like that in. So one of the nice things about this is if you back up, you'll see a little red X there. That'll allow you to pull up the next one. Basically, it's just telling me that based upon the point I just clicked, I overdrove and I wouldn't be able to make that turn back to get back in there. So it's nice that it can do that. So it didn't like that one either. Yeah, we'll just let it auto drive itself right through there. That'll work. And then a right click will get me out of it. So it leaves that path there, and you can see the vehicles there. It puts in all of my grip points, and when I select this, I have the ability to go in and make changes to the turning points. And notice if I go beyond where it can turn, I lose my outline. You just get a little red line. Just lets me know that I can't go beyond there. And then if I hit the little plus, it'll allow me to insert an additional point. So that looks pretty good. And so now if I want to run a quick animation on that, and let me back out so we can see a little better. So I'll run a quick animation on that. So I'm just going to say play. It's going a little bit slow, so I'm going to speed that guy up a little bit. And I'm sure my screen is a little small to see through the webinar, but you can see the vehicle working its way through there. And it's demonstrating how that vehicle will be able to maneuver through that. And then if I have to generate any type of exhibits or anything to convey this ability, I can come in and I can use the place outline option, pick this, and I can go ahead and place a vehicle anywhere that may be of interest to help demonstrate a key point. All right. So pretty simple and straightforward. It's nice that you can make those types of changes. And also, to demonstrate the vertical option. This one was kind of simple and kind of flat since we were in that area. So what I did was I ran a quick profile of this one, which had a little more character to it. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and do a vertical clearance check. I'll use that same motorhome, so I'll also use that. And then I'll just pick my profile. And it's saying that I didn't change any of the default values. Do I want to continue? Yeah, it's fine. And being that I got a vehicle outline all the way to the end, that means my design complies. If it didn't, it would actually stop wherever the big buckle or interference was going to be. So if I needed to demonstrate this again as well, I could place vehicles, and I could demonstrate how this vehicle might perform through this irregular low point. So we can see and maybe generate a plot for that. All right.